Imagine this. You wake up one morning and something feels different. The screen that once hypnotized you now repels you. The images that hijacked your mind now sicken you. The cravings that ruled you have vanished, not through willpower, but through something deeper. A shift in perception so profound that the old desires seem alien, absurd. How? Here's the paradox. You didn't stop watching porn. You unlearned wanting it. Like a prisoner who forgets the taste of freedom, you were conditioned to crave your own chains. But what if those chains were never real? What if the addiction wasn't about pleasure, but about something far darker? An escape from the void, a surrender to numbness, a silent rebellion against the self. Why does the mind cling to what destroys it? Why does desire twist into self-betrayal? And most unsettling of all, what if you're not fighting an addiction, but negotiating with a shadow? This isn't about quitting. This is about seeing. And once you see, you can never unsee. The question isn't how to stop, it's how to wake up. The real enemy isn't the screen, it's the emptiness the screen fills. Carl Jung warned of the shadow, the repressed parts of ourselves we refuse to face. Porn doesn't create desire. It hijacks it, offering a counterfeit solution to loneliness, inadequacy, or existential dread. Friedrich Nietzsche saw this centuries earlier. Man will sooner have the void for his purpose than be void of purpose. We'd rather numb ourselves with cheap thrills than confront the terrifying freedom of our own potential. Arthur Schopenhauer understood desire as a pendulum between pain and boredom. Chase pleasure, and you only deepen the hunger. Modern society weaponizes this flaw, engineering endless distractions to keep you chasing, never satisfied. Jean-Paul Sartre called it bad faith, the lie we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility for our own emptiness. You are free, therefore choose, that is, invent, he wrote. But inventing is hard. Numbing is easy. The trap isn't in your body. It's in your mind's surrender to instant gratification as a substitute for meaning. You don't want porn. You fear what's on the other side of quitting. The real addiction? Avoiding yourself. So the question shifts. What are you running from? And what would happen if you stopped? Every time you feed the craving, you don't just lose minutes, you lose yourself. Neurologically, you rewire your brain to mistake pixels for intimacy, conditioning your pleasure system to prefer illusion over real human connection. Dopamine, the molecule of pursuit, becomes a tyrant, flooding your system for hollow stimulation while leaving genuine fulfillment out of reach. Culturally, we've normalized this self-betrayal. Aldous Huxley's prophecy in Brave New World was right. We drown in pleasure, not pain, because a distracted society is easier to control. Your attention fractures. Your patience thins. Your capacity for depth erodes. Slowly, imperceptibly, you become a stranger to your own desires, a passive consumer of cheap thrills, mistaking the hunger for the feast. But the most devastating cost, the quiet corrosion of your will. Viktor Frankl, survivor of the Holocaust, wrote that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose. Porn annihilates that space. It turns you into a reactor, not a chooser. The real damage isn't moral, it's existential. You don't just watch, you disappear. The escape begins with one brutal question. Who are you when the screen goes dark? The way out is not to resist, but to replace. Your brain craves dopamine, not degradation. Redirect its hunger. When Nietzsche declared, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how," he revealed the antidote, a purpose so consuming that cheap thrills become irrelevant. Start with ruthless honesty. Write down every rationalization you've ever used. It's harmless. I'm just stressed. Everyone does it. Then burn them. These are not reasons. They are surrenders. Next, expose the illusion. Watch your cravings like a scientist observing a lab rat. See the mechanics, the trigger, the rush, the emptiness after. Detach. Now, flood your life with real intensity. Cold showers, savage workouts, deep work that demands full presence. Reclaim your dopamine system through struggle, not sedation. As psychologist Gabor Mat warns, not why the addiction, but why the pain. Replace the void with meaning, art, mastery, service, love. This is not discipline. This is rebellion. You are not quitting porn. You are declaring war on the version of yourself that settled for it. The final battle begins with a whisper. What could you become if you stopped escaping? Here is the revelation that changes everything. You are never addicted to porn. You are addicted to avoidance. The screen was just a mirror reflecting your refusal to face life's terrifying, exhilarating uncertainty. Every time you clicked away from reality, you weren't seeking pleasure. You were fleeing the raw and filtered experience of being human. The ancient Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The pixels offered you a false sense of control, a predictable, consequence-free world where you could feel without risking, desire without losing. But true power lies in surrendering that illusion. This is your moment of reckoning. Will you keep consuming shadows on a screen, or step into the unbearable light of your own potential? The choice is binary now: digital oblivion or radical aliveness. Close your eyes. Breathe. Feel the weight of existence, the ache, the joy, the unbearable beauty of a life fully lived. That is what you've been numbing. That is what's waiting for you. The screen goes black. Now, who do you choose to be?